The world whispers stories of those who faltered, of dreams deferred, of the spirit broken against the unforgiving anvil of circumstance. But listen closer. Beyond the clamor of the common narrative, and you will hear another Thalia, more ancient, more profound symphony. It is the anthem of the unbreakable spirit, forged not in comfort, but in the fiery crucible of adversity. It is the story of those who dared to defy the gravitational pull of despair, who found their footing on the precipice of defeat, and who ultimately not just survived, but thrived. We stand today at a crossroads bombarded by a cacophony of voices, each vying for our attention, each promising a shortcut, a hack, a magical formula for effortless success. But the timeless wisdom, the profound truth whispered through generations by the titans of industry and the architects of destiny remains unchanged. Adversity is not an obstacle to your greatness. It is the very forge that shapes it. Think of the oak tree standing tall against the relentless fury of a storm. Does it bend? Does it sway? Yes, but it does not break. Instead, its roots delve deeper, its fibers strengthen, its resilience hardens. It emerges from the tempest not diminished, but more rooted, more robust, more magnificently itself. And so it is with the human spirit. The winds of challenge do not come to shatter you. They come to reveal your strength, to awaken the dormant power within, to strip away the superficial and expose the bedrock of your true potential. The journey begins not with a grand declaration or an audacious leap, but with a silent revolution within the chambers of your own mind. Before any empire was built, before any invention sparked to life, before any mountain was summited, there was a thought, a single potent idea nurtured in the fertile ground of an unwavering mindset. For too long, we have been conditioned to view obstacles as immovable barriers, as the end of the road. But this is a grand illusion, a mirage conjured by fear and limited perspective. The titans of history, the architects of our modern world, understood this alchemy implicitly. Consider Thomas Edison, a man who stared down failure not once, but thousands of times. When asked about his numerous failures in inventing the light bulb, he famously retorted, "I have not failed 0 times. I have successfully found 0 ways it will not work." His was a mindset of relentless experimentation, of viewing each setback not as a dead end, but as valuable data, a stepping stone closer to discovery. He didn't see a defeated attempt. He saw a lesson learned, a path eliminated, a refinement born. This wasn't optimism born of naivete. It was a profound understanding of the iterative process of creation, a refusal to grant power to the word failure. Or look to Abraham Lincoln, a man whose life was a relentless cascade of personal tragedies, political defeats, and public ridicule. He lost multiple elections, faced professional setbacks, and endured immense personal sorrow. Yet he never succumbed to the crushing weight of circumstance. Why? Because his mind was anchored in a profound purpose, and his spirit possessed an unshakable belief in the possibility of a more perfect union. Each defeat, each heartbreak, rather than breaking him, tempered his resolve, deepened his empathy, and sharpened his vision. He didn't allow the external world to define his internal state. He understood that while the storms raged outside, the true battle was always won or lost within the fortress of his own consciousness. This is the very essence of an unbreakable spirit. The ability to frame your experiences not as victim to circumstance, but as the master of your own interpretation. When adversity strikes, the untrained mind sees calamity. The awakened mind sees a challenge, an opportunity for growth, a chance to prove its mettle. It is the difference between saying, "This is happening to me," and declaring, "This is happening for me." This subtle shift in perception is not merely semantics. It is the fundamental pivot point that determines whether you are crushed by the weight of the world or rise above it, stronger and more resilient than ever before. From the fertile ground of a resilient mindset springs the indomitable power of belief. It is the invisible force that shapes your reality, the internal compass that guides you through the darkest nights. For without belief, even the most brilliant plans remain dormant, mere ink on paper. It is belief that breathes life into ambition, that transforms a vague hope into a burning desire, and that compels you to persist when all logical evidence suggests surrender. Think of Walt Disney, who faced countless rejections and bankruptcies before realizing his monumental vision. Banks, investors, and even his own colleagues often scoffed at his seemingly outlandish dreams. Yet, he held an unshakable belief in the magic he was creating, a conviction so profound that it transcended all external doubt. He didn't just believe in a theme park. He believed in a place where families could escape, where imagination could soar, where dreams could come to life. This wasn't just a business plan. It was a crusade fueled by an inner certainty that defied conventional wisdom. His belief was not born of convenience or immediate validation. It was forged in the fires of persistent opposition, strengthened by every no, and ultimately validated by the creation of an empire. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, responds not to your wishes, but to your firmest convictions. It mirrors back to you the landscape you have painted within your own mind. If you believe yourself to be defeated, weak, or incapable, then the world will conspire to confirm that belief. But if you hold an unwavering conviction in your inherent strength, your boundless potential, and your capacity to overcome any challenge, then the world will bend to your will, opening pathways and revealing resources you never knew existed. This isn't about blind optimism or wishful thinking. This is about cultivating a deep, visceral certainty in your own abilities, independent of external validation. It's about building an inner fortress of conviction that no external force can penetrate. It's about understanding that your thoughts are not just fleeting impulses, they are the very building blocks of your reality. And when your belief is clear, when it is saturated with emotion and fueled by an unyielding desire, it becomes an irresistible magnet, drawing to you the people, the opportunities, and the resources necessary to manifest your destiny. To build this blueprint of belief, you must first dismantle the edifice of doubt that has been erected by years of conditioning, criticism, and perceived failures. You must ruthlessly examine the limiting narrative you tell yourself, the insidious whispers of, "I can't," "I'm not good enough," or "it's too late." These are not truths. They are merely programs running in your subconscious mind, programs that can be rewritten, reprogrammed, and ultimately obliterated. You do this through conscious affirmation, through persistent visualization, and through the courageous act of taking action, even in the face of fear. Each small victory, each step forward, each moment of unwavering persistence adds another brick to the foundation of your unshakable belief. With a fortified mindset and an unyielding belief system, the next essential element for an unbreakable spirit is clarity. You cannot hit a target you cannot see. You cannot conquer a mountain whose peak remains shrouded in fog. Without a crystal clear vision of your desired destination, your efforts will be scattered, your energy dissipated, and your potential diluted. Think of the great explorers, the pioneers who charted unknown territories. They didn't simply set out in a random direction. They had a destination in mind, even if the path was uncertain. They possessed maps, albeit imperfect ones, and an unshakable resolve to reach their intended goal. In the same way, your journey through adversity demands a precise understanding of what you are striving for. Consider Henry Ford, who envisioned a world where automobiles were accessible to the common person, not just the elite. In an era of handcrafted luxury cars, this was considered an outrageous, even impossible dream. But Ford didn't just want to build a car, he wanted to revolutionize transportation. He envisioned the assembly line, the efficient production process, the affordability that would put a car in every driveway. This wasn't a vague aspiration. It was a meticulously detailed mental blueprint, a relentless pursuit of a clear objective that propelled him through countless financial crises, engineering challenges, and skeptical critics. His clarity of vision was so profound that it manifested into an industrial revolution. Clarity is not merely a wish list. It is a meticulously detailed mental blueprint, a visceral understanding of what you truly desire, stripped of all ambiguity and doubt. It demands that you ask yourself the uncomfortable questions. What do I truly want? What does success look like, feel like, sound like, taste like for me? What values will guide my pursuit? What impact do I want to leave on the world? When your vision is clear, It becomes a powerful magnet, drawing to you the necessary resources, connections, and opportunities. It eliminates distractions, sharpens your focus, and imbues your actions with purpose. It is the North Star that guides you through the darkest nights of doubt and discouragement. Without it, you are adrift, at the mercy of every passing current, every fleeting trend, every external opinion. But with it, you possess an internal guidance system that is impervious to the turbulence of the world. To achieve this level of clarity, you must dedicate time to introspection, to quiet contemplation. You must silence the external noise and listen to the whispers of your own intuition, the deepest desires of your soul. Write down your goals, not just in broad strokes, but in vivid sensory detail. Visualize yourself already having achieved them. Feel the emotions, experience the triumph. The more detailed and emotionally charged your vision, the more powerfully it will pull you towards its manifestation, even when the path ahead seems obscured by the mists of adversity. Beyond clarity of vision lies the profound, often overlooked power of purpose. Vision tells you what you want to achieve, but purpose tells you why. It is the deep, underlying motivation that ignites your internal engine, that fuels your relentless pursuit, and that sustains you when mere ambition wanes. Without purpose, even the clearest vision can feel hollow, and the path to success can become an arduous, joyless trek. Think of Martin Luther King Jr. His vision was a world free of racial segregation, a nation where all individuals were judged by the content of their character, not the color of their skin. But his purpose went deeper. It was rooted in an unwavering belief in justice, equality, and the inherent dignity of every human being. This wasn't just a political agenda. It was a moral imperative, a spiritual calling. His purpose was so profound that it transcended personal risk, death threats, and overwhelming opposition. It propelled him to endure imprisonment, to face down violent resistance, and to inspire a nation to confront its deepest prejudices. His purpose was bigger than himself, bigger than any single victory or defeat. It was an enduring flame that illuminated the path forward, even in the darkest hours. Your purpose is your ultimate why. It's the reason you wake up in the morning, the reason you persist when every fiber of your being screams to quit, the reason you sacrifice short-term gratification for long-term fulfillment. It's the intrinsic reward that transcends monetary gain or external recognition. When your actions are aligned with a deep, resonant purpose, they become infused with an unstoppable energy. Adversity, rather than a barrier, becomes a crucible that refines your purpose, making it even stronger, clearer, and more compelling. To discover your purpose, you must delve into the core of your being. What truly moves you? What problems in the world stir your soul? What contribution do you yearn to make? It's not always a grand, sweeping declaration. Sometimes purpose is found in the quiet act of service, in the pursuit of mastery, in the dedication to a craft, or in the unwavering commitment to your loved ones. The key is that it resonates deeply within you, giving meaning and direction to your life. When your purpose is clear and deeply felt, it transforms adversity from a deterrent into a test of your conviction. The roadblocks don't make you question your destination. They make you question your approach, demanding that you innovate, adapt, and dig deeper into your wellspring of resolve. It is the ultimate antidote to procrastination, doubt, and apathy. It is the unwavering inner compass that always points you towards your true north, even when the external world seems chaotic and disorienting. A profound mindset, an unshakable belief, a crystal clear vision, and a burning purpose are all indispensable. But without discipline, they remain powerful concepts, ethereal dreams suspended in the realm of potential. Discipline is the crucible in which these intangible forces are forged into tangible reality. It is the unwavering commitment to consistent, focused action, even when motivation wanes, when fatigue sets in, or when the path ahead seems daunting. Consider the journey of any master, any virtuoso, any world-class athlete. Their extraordinary achievements are not born of a single moment of inspiration, but from countless hours of deliberate practice, repetitive drills, and unwavering adherence to a rigorous regimen. Think of the legendary basketball player Michael Jordan. His unparalleled talent was undeniable, but it was his relentless discipline, his obsessive practice habits, his willingness to push his body and mind beyond perceived limits that truly set him apart. He didn't just show up for games, he showed up for every practice, every workout, every moment that demanded sustained effort, even when no one was watching. He understood that greatness wasn't a gift. It was a daily commitment, a ruthless dedication to the process. Discipline is not about being rigid or joyless. It is about understanding that true freedom comes from mastering yourself, not from being enslaved by impulse or fleeting desire. It's about making conscious choices that align with your highest aspirations, even when those choices are difficult or uncomfortable. It's about consistently showing up, putting in the work, and doing what needs to be done regardless of your mood or external circumstances. When adversity strikes, discipline becomes your unbreakable shield. It is the force that allows you to maintain your routines, to continue your efforts, to keep pushing forward even when discouragement tries to pull you back. It is the consistent application of effort, even in the face of setbacks, that builds unstoppable momentum. Every disciplined action, no matter how small, is a vote for your future self, a reaffirmation of your commitment to your vision and purpose. Cultivating discipline is a process, not an event. It begins with small, consistent habits. Identify one area where you can commit to daily disciplined action and then relentlessly execute. It might be waking up an hour earlier, dedicating a specific time to your most important tasks, or consistently learning a new skill. As you build momentum in one area, that discipline will naturally spill over into others, creating a virtuous cycle of self-mastery. Remember, the pain of discipline is far less than the pain of regret. Choose the former and forge an unbreakable spirit. The most brilliant mindset, the deepest belief, the clearest vision, and the most compelling purpose, even tempered by rigorous discipline, remain inert without the ignition of action. It is the bridge between the internal landscape of your aspirations and the external reality of your achievements. It is the courageous leap from contemplation to execution, the willingness to step into the arena and engage with the world. Think of Colonel Sanders, the founder of Kentucky Fried Chicken. He faced rejection after rejection, literally knocking on doors across the country trying to sell his unique fried chicken recipe. He was well into his 60s, a time when most people are contemplating retirement, not launching a new business venture. Yet, he persevered, fueled by an unwavering belief in his product and an unstoppable drive to take action. He didn't just dream about a chicken empire. He tirelessly drove from restaurant to restaurant, demonstrating, persuading, and taking the concrete steps necessary to build his brand. His story is a testament to the fact that it is never too late, and that consistent, relentless action, even in the face of overwhelming odds, can transform the most improbable dreams into reality. Many succumb to the paralysis of analysis, endlessly planning, refining, and strategizing, but never taking the crucial step of launching into motion. Others are crippled by the fear of failure, the apprehension of imperfection. But the truth is, no plan is ever perfect, and no journey is ever without its bumps. The only way to truly learn, to truly grow, and to truly achieve is to take action. Action clarifies. It reveals what works and what doesn't. It exposes weaknesses in your plan and highlights unexpected opportunities. It is the ultimate feedback mechanism, providing the real-world data you need to iterate, adapt, and refine your approach. Hesitation is the enemy of progress. Indecision is a silent killer of dreams. The great difference between those who merely dream and those who achieve lies in their bias for action. They don't wait for perfect conditions, they create them. They don't wait for certainty. They embrace the uncertainty and move forward anyway. They understand that even a small, imperfect step taken today is more valuable than a perfectly conceived plan left dormant for tomorrow. To ignite this action, start small. Break down your grand ambitions into manageable, actionable steps. Don't overwhelm yourself with the enormity of the ultimate goal. Focus on the very next step, the one small thing you can do right now to move forward. And then, do it. consistently, relentlessly, with unwavering focus. As you build momentum, as you experience the tangible results of your efforts, the fear will dissipate and the path forward will become clearer. Your spirit, fueled by continuous action, will become truly unbreakable. As you move through the world, cultivating a mindset of growth, a blueprint of belief, a compass of clarity, the fuel of purpose, the crucible of discipline, and the ignition of action, there is one profound yet often underestimated force that amplifies all of these elements: gratitude. It is the emotional resonance that elevates your spirit, transforms your perception, and attracts more of what you desire into your life. In the face of adversity, it is easy to focus on what is lacking, on what has gone wrong, on the challenges that seem insurmountable. But this focus on scarcity only amplifies the very things you wish to avoid. Gratitude, conversely, shifts your focus to abundance, to the blessings that still exist, to the lessons learned, and to the inherent strength you possess. Consider the Stoics, ancient philosophers who understood the power of appreciating what is, even amid suffering. They taught that true happiness doesn't come from external circumstances, but from our internal response to them. This isn't about ignoring pain or pretending that difficulties don't exist. It's about consciously choosing to find the silver lining, to learn from the struggle, and to appreciate the growth that emerges from hardship. Think of those who have faced unimaginable loss, yet found the strength to rebuild, to serve others, to find meaning in their pain. Their resilience often stems from a profound sense of gratitude. Gratitude for the time they had, for the lessons they learned, for the love that remains even in absence. This is not a simplistic, superficial form of gratitude. It is a deep, soulful appreciation for the intricate tapestry of life, embracing both its joys and its sorrows as opportunities for growth. When you practice gratitude, even for the smallest things, you shift your energetic frequency. You move from a state of contraction and scarcity to one of expansion and abundance. This positive resonance attracts more positive experiences, more supportive relationships, and more opportunities into your life. It is the ultimate magnet for success and well-being. To cultivate gratitude, make it a daily practice. Start and end your days by listing things you are genuinely grateful for, no matter how small. It could be the warmth of your coffee, the beauty of a sunrise, a kind word from a stranger, or simply the breath in your lungs. As you consistently focus on what you appreciate, your perspective will subtly but powerfully shift. You will begin to see opportunities where you once saw obstacles, blessings where you once saw burdens. This profound shift in perception is a cornerstone of the unbreakable spirit, transforming even the bitterest experiences into catalysts for growth and expansion. The journey of an unbreakable spirit is rarely a straight line. The world is in constant flux, a swirling vortex of change, unforeseen challenges, and emerging opportunities. Therefore, a critical component for thriving in the face of adversity is the agility of adaptability. It is the capacity to pivot, to adjust, to learn, and to flow with the currents of life rather than resisting them. Think of evolution itself. The species that survive are not necessarily the strongest or the most intelligent, but those most capable of adapting to their changing environment. In the human realm, consider industries that have been revolutionized, companies that have risen and fallen, or individuals who have successfully navigated multiple career shifts. Those who thrive are rarely the ones clinging to old paradigms. They are the ones embracing innovation, learning new skills, and boldly venturing into uncharted territory. Look at how industries have transformed. The rise of the internet, for example, decimated businesses that clung to outdated models, while those who embraced digital transformation thrived. Consider the early days of personal computing, where many dismissed it as a niche hobby. Yet the visionaries who adapted, who saw the potential and pivoted their strategies, became the giants of today. This wasn't about being perfect. It was about being responsive, learning quickly, and being willing to shed old ways when new realities emerged. Adversity often forces us to adapt, to shed our preconceived notions, and to find new solutions. When a door closes, the adaptable spirit doesn't lament the loss. It actively seeks another opening or perhaps builds a new door altogether. It understands that resistance to change is the surest path to stagnation and eventual irrelevance. To cultivate adaptability, you must first embrace a growth mindset, the understanding that your abilities and intelligence are not fixed, but can be developed through dedication and hard work. Be open to new ideas, even those that challenge your deeply held beliefs. Seek out diverse perspectives, engage in continuous learning, and be willing to experiment, knowing that not every attempt will be successful, but every attempt will provide valuable learning. Practice intellectual humility. Recognize that you don't have all the answers and that the world is constantly evolving. Be curious, be flexible, and be willing to let go of what no longer serves you. The unbreakable spirit does not break because it bends, it flows, it learns, and it creatively reshapes itself in response to whatever life throws its way. It understands that true strength lies not in rigid adherence to old ways, but in the fluid power of continuous evolution. While adaptability allows you to bend without breaking, resilience is the ultimate armor of the unbreakable spirit. The capacity to not just survive adversity, but to bounce back from setbacks, failures, and disappointments, not diminished, but stronger, wiser, and more determined than before. It is the deep well of inner fortitude that allows you to absorb the blows of life, process the pain, and emerge with an even greater resolve to move forward. Think of the countless individuals who have faced immense personal tragedy, economic collapse, or public humiliation, yet have managed to rebuild their lives, often achieving even greater heights. Consider J.K. Rowling, who was a struggling single mother on welfare, facing numerous rejections for her Harry Potter manuscript. She endured profound personal challenges and professional setbacks. Yet she possessed an unwavering belief in her story and an incredible resilience that allowed her to keep writing, keep submitting, and keep pushing forward until her vision was realized. Her success wasn't born from an absence of difficulty, but from her ability to transmute that difficulty into fuel for her relentless pursuit. Resilience is not the absence of pain or sadness. It is the ability to feel those emotions, to acknowledge them, but not to be consumed by them. It is the internal alchemy that transforms suffering into strength, doubt into determination, and fear into courage. It's about viewing setbacks not as final pronouncements, but as temporary detours, opportunities for course correction, and lessons in disguise. The resilient spirit understands that failure is not the opposite of success. It is a fundamental part of the journey towards it. Every great achievement is built on a foundation of attempts that didn't work, strategies that failed, and moments of profound frustration. What separates the resilient from the defeated is their refusal to internalize these setbacks as personal failings. Instead, they extract a lesson, adjust their approach, and continue their relentless march forward. To build this armor of resilience, you must first cultivate self-compassion. Be kind to yourself during moments of struggle. Understand that everyone faces difficulties and that setbacks are an inevitable part of the human experience. Develop healthy coping mechanisms. Seek support from others. Engage in activities that replenish your energy and practice mindfulness to stay grounded in the present moment. Most importantly, consistently remind yourself of your past triumphs, your inherent strengths, and the inner resources you have drawn upon in previous challenges. Build a mental library of your victories, big and small, and revisit them when doubt creeps in. The unbreakable spirit is not one that avoids falling. It is one that masters the art of getting back up, each time a little wiser, a little tougher, and a little more prepared for the journey ahead. In a world defined by accelerating change and unforeseen challenges, the ultimate continuous advantage of an unbreakable spirit is the relentless pursuit of learning. It is the commitment to lifelong intellectual curiosity, to acquiring new knowledge, to mastering new skills, and to continuously refining your understanding of the world and yourself. This isn't just about formal education. It's about an insatiable appetite for growth, an eagerness to absorb wisdom from every experience, every encounter, and every moment of reflection. Think of the great minds of history, the scientists, philosophers, inventors, and artists, who never ceased to inquire, to experiment, to challenge existing paradigms. Consider Leonardo da Vinci, a quintessential polymath who whose insatiable curiosity led him to master not only art and sculpture, but also anatomy, engineering, botany, and optics. He didn't limit his learning to one field. He constantly expanded his knowledge base, seeing connections where others saw silos. His notebooks are filled with observations, sketches, and experiments, a testament to a mind relentlessly engaged in the process of discovery. The modern world is constantly presenting new problems, new technologies, and new opportunities. Those who thrive are not those who cling to outdated knowledge, but those who are agile learners, constantly adapting their mental models and acquiring the new skills necessary to navigate the evolving landscape. When adversity strikes, the learned individual doesn't simply react. They analyze, they research, they seek new information, and they creatively apply their expanded understanding to find innovative solutions. Learning is the ultimate antidote to stagnation and fear. The more you know, the more confident you become in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. It broadens your perspective, deepens your understanding, and equips you with a wider array of tools for problem solving. It transforms challenges from insurmountable obstacles into intellectual puzzles to be solved, opportunities for intellectual growth and mastery. To cultivate this lifelong commitment to learning, make it a conscious habit. Read widely, listen attentively, ask probing questions, and seek out diverse perspectives. Embrace feedback, even when it's critical, as an invaluable source of insight. See every experience, both positive and negative, as a classroom. Understand that every person you encounter has something to teach you. The unbreakable spirit doesn't just endure adversity, it extracts wisdom from it. It doesn't just survive challenges, it learns from them, evolving into a more capable, more resilient, and more resourceful version of itself. This continuous illumination through learning is the ultimate source of enduring power, ensuring that no matter what storms may rage, your spirit will always find a way to navigate, to grow, and to shine brighter than before. And so, we arrive at the zenith, the culmination of this journey towards the unbreakable spirit, the profound and enduring state of self-mastery. It is the ultimate embodiment of all these principles: mindset, belief, clarity, purpose, discipline, action, gratitude, adaptability, resilience, and learning woven together into the very fabric of your being. It is the realization that your true power lies not in external circumstances, but in your unwavering command over your own thoughts, emotions, and actions. Think of the greatest leaders, innovators, and humanitarians throughout history. What set them apart was not merely their intelligence or their opportunities, but their profound ability to govern themselves, to channel their energies, to overcome internal resistance, and to consistently align their behavior with their highest ideals. They understood that the greatest battle to be won is always within. When you achieve self-mastery, adversity ceases to be a force that dictates your destiny. Instead, it becomes a proving ground, an opportunity to demonstrate the strength of your internal fortress. The external world may rage, but your inner world remains calm, clear, and utterly in your control. You are no longer merely reacting to life. You are consciously creating it, shaping it with the power of your focused will and your unwavering spirit. This journey to self-mastery is not a destination, it is a continuous, lifelong ascent. There will be moments of doubt, moments of weakness, moments when the old habits try to reassert their hold. But the unbreakable spirit does not succumb to these temporary lapses. It acknowledges them, learns from them, and then, with renewed resolve, continues its upward climb. The legacy of an unbreakable spirit is not just personal triumph, it is an inspiration to all who witness it. When you choose to rise above adversity, you not only transform your own life, but you also illuminate the path for others. You become a living testament to the boundless potential of the human spirit, a beacon of hope in a world often consumed by despair. So, stand tall. Face the challenges that life inevitably presents, not with fear, but with conviction. Embrace the adversity, for it is the very catalyst for your transformation. Cultivate your mindset. Fortify your belief. Sharpen your clarity. Ignite your purpose. Forge your discipline. Ignite your action. Practice gratitude. Embrace adaptability. Build your resilience. And commit to lifelong learning. For within you right now lies a power far greater than any external force, a power that can transmute obstacles into opportunities, failures into lessons, and dreams into reality. It is the power of your own unbreakable spirit. Unleash it, live it, and become the master of your own extraordinary destiny. The world awaits the story of your triumph